Don't forget to subscribe, that way you save every week with every PSVR2 game that's on sale. And if you're new to the PSVR2, this sale is for you. Be sure to check the chapters for all the games, because we're going to start with the absolute must-have title that everyone needs to get. This, of course, is Resident Evil Village, and it's 75% off. Over 42,000 people have rated it 4.67 out of 5 stars, with 92% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Incredible. And just like Resident Evil 4, the game doesn't have that VR mode built into it, so you do have to find Resident Evil Village on the PlayStation Store, go all the way down until you see add-ons. You're going to see the free VR mode there, click that, download it, install it. Otherwise it goes to a large cinematic screen and you're using your DualSense controller. It's in 2D mode, so you do need that VR mode literally downloaded, installed before you load the game to actually experience this in awesome full VR. Whether you're into the horror genre or not, and trust me, I am not whatsoever, this game is an excellent showcase of how the PSVR2 can transform an already incredible game and shoot it straight into the next generation. Seriously, you're now inside the beautiful world at life size with no compromise. If anything, you have only more ways to unleash your actual abilities, such as dual wielding weapons while running in room scale VR, blocking incoming attacks, manually reloading during intense combat, and then opening your trench coat to use your flashlight. Awesome. And again, just to reiterate, you do not need anything else but this standard edition to enjoy that full VR awesomeness. However, there are some extra DLC items that you can get on sale, but only some of them work in VR. And I'm going to go over really quick what works and what doesn't work in VR. Now, the one thing that is available for you to use in VR, this is the Survival Resources Pack, and it's 25% off. With that, you are getting some handgun ammo, shotgun ammo, a first aid med pack, and a lockpick. And the other item that you can use in VR, this is the Mr. Raccoon Weapon Charm, and it's 25% off, and this is simply just an aesthetic charm that hangs off of 2 shotguns, the M1897 and the W870 TAC shotgun. I think that's how you pronounce them. Next, we have a weird one. This is the Extra Shop All Access Voucher, and it's 60% off. That said, this is not available in VR. I have no idea why. I've not used any of the actual DLC in either of the Resident Evil games here. And on the PlayStation Store description, it just says that it unlocks all rewards in the extra content shop. But again, this does not work in VR, just saying. Next, we do have a bundle of items that do have a few things that will work in VR. This is the Trauma Pack, and it's 25% off. And with that, it does include the Samurai Edge AW Model 01, and that is available in VR, as well as the Resident Evil 7 Found Footage Filter, and that is not available in VR, as that's for the flat screen experience only. You're getting the Resident Evil 7 tape recorder save point. Unfortunately, that is not in VR. You're getting Safe Room Music Go Tell Aunt Rhody, that is in VR, as well as the Mr. Everywhere Weapon Charm, that is in VR as well. And with this Trauma Pack, you'll immediately unlock the Village of Shadows difficulty. And I do not know whether or not that Village of Shadows difficulty is available in VR. Anybody in the comments section, if you've played this, please let us know whether or not we can do this in VR. If not, I'm going to have to check it out sooner than later and let everybody know. You're also getting the Tragedy of Ethan Winters artwork and the Baker Incident Report, which are not available in VR. But the most important DLC for all the hardcore Resident Evil fans, this is the Winter's Expansion, and it's 50% off, and there are 3 main modes to this game, and they're not available in VR, unfortunately. The first one is the ability to play the game in third-person mode. This is the classic Resident Evil 4, where you're seeing yourself in third person, but man, I gotta say, if you're a huge fan of the Resident Evil series, you probably will want to check this out. As well, this includes the Mercenaries Additional Orders, and just like the Resident Evil 4, this is a separate minigame where it's all about your skills in these time-based challenges. But unlike Resident Evil 4, this one includes 3 new characters, including the towering Lady Dimitrescu, as well as Heisenberg from what I'm seeing here in the trailer. I do not know that third one. Anyone in the comments section, if you want to let us know, that'd be great. But the most significant part of this DLC is called Shadows of Rose, and this is a new scenario starring the grown-up Rose, Ethan's beloved daughter, who was kidnapped as a baby that kicked off the original Village story. And just showing you real quick the rating that this actual DLC received, I am assuming that is the Shadows of Rose DLC, that is that extra storyline plot. I do wish that was in VR, like Daughters on Resident Evil 7. Don't know why they didn't do that. That would have been really cool to play. And if you did get the Winter's Expansion, you may be interested to know that you can also get the Street Wolf outfit for Rose, and that's 25% off, but that said, it can only be used in that Winter's Expansion DLC, as it gives Rose a tougher look as she takes on enemies with this jacket, which features the logo of Chris Redfield's Hound Wolf Squad on the back. Interesting. And speaking of which, the next DLC is again not in VR, but I didn't even know this existed until I did these sales videos. In the base game, you do get, for free, Resident Evil Reverse. This is an online multiplayer game that you play against your friends where you're fighting each other as teams, then whoever dies, they spawn into these monsters and now they're attacking you. I've never played before, again, not in VR, will never play this. It even says in the description that the online service does not last forever and at any time this game could go offline, so heads up. And for those of you that are still unsure whether or not Resident Evil Village VR is for you, you can check out the Resident Evil Village VR gameplay demo on the PlayStation Store for free right now. And the other two must-have Resident Evil games are currently bundled together. Resident Evil 7 Gold Edition and Village Gold Edition are 75% off. And that is including Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition, all of the DLC that was included. Even though you cannot play any of this stuff on your PSVR2, there is a rumor going around that this is going to be remastered for the PSVR2. I can't confirm that for sure, but if you don't already own the game, this might be the time to actually get it. And unlike Resident Evil 4 and 8, Resident Evil 7 had most of the DLC available in VR, and they were excellent. I remember playing all of it. It was so amazing. Daughters was my absolute favorite, giving you the origin story of how Eve actually arrived at the Baker family. This bundle also features Resident Evil Village Gold Edition, which does include many extras such as the Trauma Pack, Winter's Expansion, and Resident Evil Reverse, which I go over in great detail in the last chapter there if you missed it, because the DLC for Village is also on sale. But I do have to say that I only recommend getting the Standard Edition, which is also on sale right now, and it's all you need to play the incredibly awesome VR mode. And just like Resident Evil 4, the game does not have that VR mode built in, so you do need to go to the PlayStation Store, find Resident Evil Village, go all the way down till you see add-ons, click that VR mode, install it, then load the game up and you're ready to go. I personally think all the Resident Evil should be in your library if you own the PSVR 2, and I've never played anything Resident Evil up until the PSVR 1.
Here we go.
But the next horror game is a must-have for the PSVR 2, and I'm talking about Resident Evil 4 Gold Edition at 40% off currently. And just to speak to how popular Resident Evil 4 is, over 102,000 people have rated the game 4.75 out of 5 stars, with 93% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Incredible. And when you do go to buy this game, I do have to say this because a lot of you didn't know that you do not have the VR mode built into the game right away. So when you go to Resident Evil 4 on the PlayStation Store, just go down all the way to the bottom where you see add-ons, and you're going to see the Resident Evil 4 VR mode there. Click that, download it, install it, then load your game. That way you can play in VR and use your PSVR 2 Sense controllers. Otherwise, it defaults you to the large-ass cinematic screen and you're using your DualSense controller, and a lot of people didn't know that. That's not the VR mode. That said, when you do go to play this in the VR mode and you did just grab this Gold Edition, there are a lot of DLC extras here that you cannot use in VR. And the first one being the most important here, this is called Separate Ways. This is a side story with Ada Wong. Over 900 people have rated it 4.8 out of 5 stars, with 94% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Before any US agent had even set foot in the Cursed Village, she was there. Her mission? The retrieval of the cult's darkest secret, the Amber. Separate Ways, the missing link in the main story, is a thrilling survival horror adventure starring Ada Wong. See the other side of the story from her eyes as her mission and fate intertwines with Leon Kennedy's a second time. And the other thing that's included with the base game, not in the Gold Edition, it doesn't come with it obviously, but in the base game you do get Resident Evil 4 The Mercenaries. Over 530 people rated it 4.54 out of 5 stars, with 84% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And this game mode is all about racing against the clock and battling your way to the top of the leaderboards. Even though those two game modes are not in VR, I do feel compelled to tell everybody, because if you are getting these Gold Editions, you need to know exactly what you're getting here. And speaking of which, the next big one is the Resident Evil 4 Extra DLC Pack. This one comes with a slew of items here, and I'm going to go over each one so you know what works in VR and what doesn't. The first one here is Leon's sunglasses, and I thought they were just an aesthetic where you see it on the actual person in game, but no, it actually does affect gameplay. I did not know this, so props to Percy for letting us know that in Resident Evil 4 the sunglasses make you immune to flashbangs. I never would have thought of that. And in the PlayStation Store description you can see here, it talks about protecting your baby blues from the sun and other pesky monsters with these sunglasses. It could help you with other things that I'm totally unaware of. Again, anyone in the comments section, please pipe in, let me know if I'm missing anything, that'd be awesome. And in order to actually put these sunglasses on, you do go to to the pause menu in the extra section there. That's where you can actually change up your stuff. And it does say right here that the sunglasses can be used in both the main game and the Separate Ways DLC. But remember, the Separate Ways DLC is not in VR. And the next thing you're getting here is the Sentinel-9. I love using pistols. I didn't look at the actual description before, and it says it's a fully customized handgun for tackling bioterrorism. You know, that means nothing to me other than it boasts both accuracy and versatility, making it the reliable choice. Anyone in the comment section, if you can speak to this, do you feel an actual gameplay difference by using this pistol over the default one we have in the game here? And in order to access this, it says deluxe weapons can be claimed from the storage menu at the typewriter, the save point there. But unlike the sunglasses, this can be used in the main game, but not the Separate Ways DLC. And just like the pistol, same idea here, you're getting another version of the shotgun called the Skull Shaker. And quite simply, it does say it's a sawed-off stock and barrel. So you are allowing for excellent maneuverability and handling. Again, anyone in the comment section, if you've been playing with both shotguns, can you let us know whether or not that's actually a gameplay difference? And same idea here again, all deluxe weapons you do have to claim at the typewriter, but this can only be used in the main game and not the Separate Ways DLC. When it comes to the costumes, you're getting a casual set for both Leon and Ashley, but unlike the pistol and the shotgun, you can use the costumes in the main game and the Separate Ways DLC. And all you have to do to access that, you just hit the pause button and go into the extras menu and you'll see all your costumes in there. And the next one that you're getting here is the romantic set for both Leon and Ashley. Same idea, just go in the extras, change it up. Of course, all costumes can be used in both the main game and the Separate Ways DLC, but this costume and filter, the costume can be used, again, just like the other ones, in the main game and the Separate Ways, but the filter is not VR compatible. When it comes to the filter, that's a 2D flat screen experience, and what you're seeing here, this is an actual image of the before and after. So personally, when I'm seeing this, it looks really washed out. I'd rather just the original look altogether. And the next costume and filter they're offering, same idea, you can only use the costume. Again, you're getting the villain version, which quickly showing you here, this is the actual filter, and I feel like it looks kind of red and orangey. It doesn't look as good as the original version, so I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm not seeing it on my screen, but yeah, I can't recommend any of this stuff, to be honest with you. But the one thing that does sound really cool to me is the original soundtrack swap. I did not play this game back in the day in 2004 or whenever it was on the PS2, I can't remember. But for those of you that have and have this nostalgic attachment to it, it's so cool that you can just go into your extras menu and then switch that to the original soundtrack, and I believe all of the action sounds, like the guns and sound effects and everything. So that's really neat. But that said, you can only use this in the main game for Resident Evil 4. It does not work in the Separate Ways DLC. You're also getting a treasure map expansion, which the game does include a treasure map to begin with. This simply just adds more treasures to the existing map and some additional treasures that weren't in the game to begin with. And you can simply confirm that by looking at your original map once you've installed this stuff. And this expansion only works for the main game of Resident Evil 4, not for the Separate Ways DLC. However, you can use the items that you've accumulated in the main game from the treasure map and bring them over to Separate Ways. So that's cool. But yeah, that's what they're saying here in the official PlayStation Store description. And for those of you that are still on the fence as to whether or not this game is for you, I highly recommend that you get the gameplay demo on the PlayStation Store right now.
Why would they build a research facility way out here?
Red Matter 2 is an award-winning immersive puzzle adventure, and it's currently 43% off right now. Over 2,100 people have rated it 4.82 out of 5 stars, with 97% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. That's got to be one of the best ratings on the PlayStation Store. Quite simply, this game has blown me away, technically speaking, and has set the bar for what I expect a PSVR2 game can look and play like. And I am happy to report I've just completed it, and every moment in Red Matter 2 is utterly jaw-dropping. Just as a heads up, the story does kick off right after Red Matter 1, and I highly recommend you play that one first. And even though this trailer does show some action sequences, it's really about 5% of the game, and a few have commented in the past that they felt bored playing it. So I do have to manage expectations here. Personally, I had a blast with this entire game and have to remind everyone that this really is an environmental puzzle-based game. So I don't even want to tell you anything about the story. It did make a lot of sense to me, part 1, and now it's making a lot more sense as I'm playing just the first hour of the game. I cannot get over just walking around ever so slowly using my full body to turn in room scale VR, and everything just feels absolutely smooth and seamless. Like movement based on controller. Yes, this is what you do want for room scale VR. Otherwise, if you go by head, when you're moving forward and you turn your head, all of a sudden your guy's going to walk that way. It's not realistic. You want it on controller for every game. Now, just to point this out as a room scale walking example, if I move forward and keep my arms still straight, that's how I can still move forward and look around. The moment I turn my arm with my head while pressing forward, that's what's turning me. it just feels like a next-gen experience, and you don't want to go back after that. You know, not using a right stick to turn at all. We don't do that in real life, you know what I'm saying? It's just natural to walk and look around. Wow. That's the hardest thing, guys. You really can't show people what this headset can do until they put it on. And again, you can talk about it all you want, but even myself, who's owned this for almost 2 years now, I still get blown away. And now is the time to experience the ultimate space exploration game that continues to get better and better with the latest free massive update called Voyagers in No Man's Sky, and it's 60% off. Over 104,000 people have rated it 3.96 out of 5 stars, with 73% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. But 16% did give this 1 star since the disastrous launch back in 2016. This incredible update has been a year in the making and required the developers to overhaul everything in order for these changes to work. I'm going to leave a link in my description for the full patch notes because there's just simply way too much to go over here, but I'll try to summarize the big points real quick. Finally, you can create your own colossal, fully furnished and decorated Corvette-class starship that you assemble from hundreds of ship modules, selecting and arranging every section of hull, every wing and peripheral, every internal corridor and bunk bed, everything. And with this base in space, you can now invite your friends on board to sweep the local opportunities from the mission radar, harvest resources, fight, gather treasure, and much more. You can even now stand up from the pilot's seat at any time without leaving the ship itself and soak in the ambience of your handcrafted home. Or even step directly into the darkness of deep space while floating weightlessly around the hull of your ship. And on top of all of that, they have actually now included fully customizable button configurations across every platform. From tossing a grenade on foot to boosting in an exocraft, you can now set up your controls exactly the way you want, no matter what platform you play on. Awesome! This update also includes a new player suit along with a timed, limited community expedition that is designed as a tutorial to help accelerate the assembly of your first Corvette in a narrative-enhanced adventure. Very cool. And last but definitely not least, all of you PS5 Pro players out there will now see the incredible benefit of PSSR. That's PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, improving image quality using AI enhanced resolution for ultra high definition and even more incredible detail, which I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out because I was already really impressed with the Pro enhancements to begin with. Don your gas mask, wield handmade weapons, and venture into the depths of this apocalyptic nightmare in Metro Awakening. And it's 40% off right now. Over 2,400 people have rated it 4.44 out of 5 stars, with 86% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. In the year 2028, the survivors of nuclear war cling to the existence in the buried subways of the Moscow Metro, which has become civilization's last refuge and tomb, where spirits haunt the living in this man-made purgatory. You are a doctor searching for your wife as you brave the crippling radiation, darkness, and deadly threats of the Metro, desperately trying to find the medication she needs. As your courage and sanity are pushed to the limit, you must learn to walk the line between life and death, the spiritual and the material world, and awaken the being you must become.
Good dog, buddy!
Arizona Sunshine 2 Deluxe Edition, the next-gen sequel to the fan-favorite VR Apocalypse, is currently 50% off right now. Almost 3,000 people have rated it 4.54 out of 5 stars, with 89% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And with this deluxe edition, you do get the exclusive Undead Buddy skin as you're seeing here, as well as the exclusive Freddy Flesh Hand skin, and the exclusive Doggy Weapon Charm, which I don't think it does anything in the game. It could just be this decorative thing, but in a post-apocalyptic world where every bullet counts, experience the thrill of realistic combat as you wield all new and fan-favorite weapons. And what's really kick-ass, man, that I've been waiting to play this game, you can enjoy the full campaign in 2-player co-op mode. As well, you can join up to 3 other players in 4-player co-op Horde mode, and they've already released an abundance of maps for the actual Horde mode, so very cool, man. They put a lot of love and attention to this game and then included all this extra DLC. And what's better than braving the end of the world than surviving it with your new best friend, Buddy? Not only is Buddy your 4-legged companion through thick and thin, he's also the goodest boy and will help take down those pesky Freds for you. And they really put a spotlight on this dog, man. There's even extra skins like an undead doggy and, you know, another breed of dog, the corgi, all together, which is really weird but looks really cool. Everyone in the past that's commented on this game whenever it's gone on sale has only said great things about this game, seriously. And again, if you have a friend to play with or friends to play with, only better from what I'm hearing. Now, if you want both Metro Awakening and Arizona Sunshine 2, the standard edition, you can get them bundled together at 35% off. And this bundle's rating is reflecting Metro Awakening score only. It's not incorporating Arizona Sunshine 2. That said, if you're like me and you had the PSVR1 and you played the original, Arizona Sunshine Remake is currently 50% off right now. But if you already own the game from the PSVR1 days, do be sure to pay that upgrade fee instead because it's much cheaper. That said, over 6,000 people have rated it 4.1 out of 5 stars, with 78% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And I just have to speak to this really quick. Arizona Sunshine on the PSVR1, I did experience that co-op mode and I thought it was good. Again, good, that's the best way to describe it, but the mechanics were not polished like Farpoint. I am hoping the actual mechanics, the gameplay, the controls are much better than what I remember on the PSVR1, just saying. What I didn't realize is that this remake actually offers all of the DLC from the first game. Very cool, man. Being honest, I don't think I played any of the DLC. I just played the original campaign all the way through with my friend and I was kind of done with it after that. And of course, they've kept that intact. You can play the original campaign in co-op mode on Arizona Sunshine Remake, as well as the 4-player Horde mode, and I do believe that was already available on the PSVR 1, so nothing different there from what I remember. And just to remind you again, if you do own the game on the PSVR 1, do pay that upgrade fee before buying this on sale at that sale price.
Stauf knows too much, but how?
Experience one of the best murder mystery video games ever created in The Seventh Guest VR, and it's 60% off. Over 880 people have rated it 4.66 out of 5 stars, with 93% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. The classic game that chilled you to the bone in the 90s has been brought back with cutting-edge VR technology that delivers an atmospheric story like no other. As you explore the eerie mansion, the puzzles become increasingly challenging. Unlock new rooms and uncover hidden secrets, all while trying to keep your wits about you against the eerie horrors. The Seventh Guest VR is the ultimate adventure for fans of mystery puzzle games and those seeking a new and terrifying VR experience. I never played the game back in the 90s on the PC CD-ROM, but I am excited to let you know, if you're into the environmental puzzle-based games where you're just thrown into the game and have to figure things out, then you will absolutely love this game. And unlike so many puzzle games I played before, this immediately felt completely unique and stumped me pretty hard right from the get-go, but not too challenging to keep me away. The theme, the music, sound effects, character development, and acting are superbly done here. The only negative that I've experienced and stands out to me is that there is no option to decouple your head from your body, which means your head turns your body, and that isn't ideal for room scale VR. But don't get me wrong, this isn't game breaking at all for a game like this. I love how I'm thrown into this beautiful mansion with nothing but a lantern. And what's really cool is that when you use that lantern to illuminate an area, it actually shows you what that spot looked like in the past when those guests were actually there. So cool to see that everywhere, seriously. Again, even though I've only put in a couple of hours into this so far, the very first room with the very first puzzle was just awesome. Don't worry though, you can refer to your map for help, and you can also choose to get a hint as to how to solve the puzzle if it gets too frustrating. Thankfully, it doesn't happen automatically, as I do hate puzzle spoilers, and you do have the option to access that in your menu. So far, so great. The most advanced combat system to ever grace a video game has done it again. Introducing the latest massive update, Deadeye, in Hellsweeper VR Deluxe Edition, and it's 60% off. Over 720 people have rated it 4.33 out of 5 stars, with 84% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. With this Deluxe Edition, you are getting the Mythic Hellhound skin, the VR official soundtrack, and the digital art book. What's really cool is that this is one of the 18 games that is natively compatible with the bHaptics haptic suit and tack sleeves, giving you the most immersive experience possible. And this has got to be the most incredibly complicated, awesome combat system I've ever played in any video game whatsoever. Quite literally, the more time that you put into this game, the more options you choose and play with, the more that this becomes an extension of your body. Legit, it took me about 5 or 6 hours of playing around just to get the actual controls that I wanted for this game, and it was well worth it. I legit now feel like John Wick in VR. It's incredible. And just to speak to this, I've literally put in approximately 30 hours into this game, and I've hardly scratched the surface. I keep sticking to the same weapons and guns and stuff because I'm still ranking them up. I'm still progressing in the game. And then there's a whole slew of other weapons that totally transform the entire game experience, literally, that I've yet to unlock and touch. And then there's the actual co-op mode where you can play with a friend and then combine your weapons and powers at the same time. Every time this game's on sale, I keep trying to show everybody how this is the most incredible combat system in any game I've ever played before. I keep telling people this is for the VR veteran. What I mean by that is you're not going to get motion sick. It's just that there's so many options to play this game. And the actual default controls, man, I totally hated, you know, jumping into the game right away. Had I just stuck with that, I would not have been playing with it more than for half an hour to an hour. And now with the latest patch, Deadeye, you can shoot magic through your fingertips, have environmental interactions such as freezing water or using fire on gas pipes, along with a slew of new traits and a new enemy type that is toxic and can self-heal. I've left the official patch notes in the description if you want to check out all the details. If you're like me and already own a racing wheel, don't think, just grab this magnificent Mario Kart clone in VR with Galaxy Kart, because it's currently 50% off right now. Over 540 people rated it 3.96 out of 5 stars, with 73% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And what's really cool to hear is that this is one of the 19 natively compatible games for the bHaptics tack suit and tack sleeves, placing you directly inside the kart as you can now feel that motor throughout your body. The power-ups now projected from your arms through your controller, and you'll even feel your back being hit from behind when racing towards that finish line. So kick-ass. And to make the experience absolutely perfect, this now supports every steering wheel to work with this game. Yes, I said that right. Every steering wheel works with this game. And again, since I'm using that force feedback wheel, this will not use force feedback in the game. It doesn't have that, you know, rattling sensation when I'm hitting the wall or a certain part of the track. What happens is you have tension when you're taking a turn. You actually feel that resistance. Oh! I do love how there's tension in the wheel. That's very cool. And when you release the wheel, it snaps right back to the neutral position, which is absolutely what you want in a game like this. And combine that with using your brake and your pedal and holding one controller, you can easily steer and hold that controller with both hands using 2 fingers, as you're seeing right here, and shoot everybody at the same time without compromising any of the steering whatsoever. It really is Mario Kart in VR. Honestly, guys, the game has 18 unique courses to choose from, 6 tournaments, which wasn't even out when I did my video, 11 characters with their own unique skills. Again, each one has their own weapon. And right now there are 9 power-ups for everyone to utilize, again, with that unique ability that each character has on their own that no one else can have. And of course, there are 4 levels of difficulty. This is very important because, again, with 18 courses, this single-player campaign before was 9 or 10. I had played for a few hours by myself on normal mode, and that's not even touching the hard or challenge mode. So I gotta say, I didn't even get to play online with anybody, and I'm sitting here touting this as an amazing game, as you're seeing on screen me having a blast. Dude, I'm not expecting, oh my god, that was scary. Sorry, snowballs. Even though I love Mario Kart, this has now spoiled me from going back because I never had the same sense of speed, control, or immersion like I do when playing Galaxy Kart VR. For real. Especially when using that steering wheel and the PSVR2 Sense controller, coupled with my feet pressing the gas and brake pedals, feels so unreal and instantly fun to pick up and play. Now, the only real negative here is that the player base is not there yet, so the online appears vacant for me, but it's there. You just have to coordinate with some friends online and all should be good to go. Either way, this game is an absolute blast and is seriously worth getting on sale just for the single player as you unlock all the characters. And it'll only get better when more people own this game and play it online, as it's truly one of my favorite VR games of all time. Punch, jab, block, dodge, and slip your way to victory as you rise to become the ultimate boxing champion in Mutant Boxing League VR. And it's 40% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 45% off total. Only 40 people have rated this so far, 4.35 out of 5 stars, with 83% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. Whether you're new to VR or a seasoned boxer, apparently Mutant Boxing League has something for everyone. Master the art of attack, defense, and special gloves like the Power Glove and Speed Glove with the tutorials. With every fight, you'll improve your skills, timing perfect counter punches, blocking, and dodging to stay on top. Mutant Boxing League was developed with professional boxers, designed to make boxing training both enjoyable and challenging. Unlike Creed, you actually don't move around the ring here, but play standing still, punch-out style. With every fight, you'll improve your boxing skills and fitness, all while unlocking gloves, mini-games, and challenges that will keep you coming back for more. Interesting. If you love the Guitar Hero or Rock Band, you'll want to get Drums Rock, and it's 50% off. Over 1,400 people have rated it 4.28 out of 5 stars, with 79% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And if you're unsure whether or not the game is for you, definitely check out that Drums Rock free demo right now. And that's what I did, and I was able to get an actual sense of flavor of what the game felt like, and I was totally impressed with the actual haptics on the controllers as well as the headset haptics. I didn't actually check out the eye tracking for the score, didn't play it enough, but yes, this is sit down, pick up and play, instant action. Aside from the arcade aspect, the game actually does feature a full-fledged 4-hour campaign, and then fight 2 bosses along the way. Very cool. Take back the planet in a massive mech suit in big shots, and it's 40% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 10% more, making it 50% off total. Over 150 people rated it 4.06 out of 5 stars, with 76% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5. And now I'm gonna have to get this game because this is one of the 19 natively compatible games for the bHaptics tac suit and tac sleeves. Having you feel those mechanized cannons blast from your chest and your arms, coupled with those sense and headset haptics, are gonna take this game to the next level. And the story for this one goes, an experiment gone wrong unleashed a relentless alien invasion, plunging humanity into chaos. Price Inc. initiated the Big Shots initiative to fight the invaders, and this is where you come in, rookie. Become a big shot and take on the pivotal role of an alien exterminator. As you gear up and evolve your mech, you'll venture deeper into infested areas and search for the source of all of this mayhem. Exterminations can be done solo or side by side with a fellow big shot, and that's what I'm totally interested in, playing this game with the wife using that digital game sharing feature. And when teamed up, working together is key to holding off alien scum and getting the job done. And what's really cool is that cross-platform play is supported, so none of your friends will be left out. And apparently this game takes advantage of an innovative movement system. I'm assuming, like all other VR games, you can freely walk around. However, I highly recommend that you sit down in a chair for this game if you are virtually in a mech suit to begin with, just saying. And just a few months ago, the supercharged update was released that allowed you to power up your mech with 60 brand new upgrades and ultimates, giving you even more ways to crush the bugs in style. Alongside these new updates, they've also enhanced Big Shots with key quality of life improvements and essential bug fixes. Even before this supercharged update was released, I've only heard excellent things about this game on all platforms. And the other most amazing multiplayer game everyone else needs to get, this is After the Fall Complete Edition, and it's 60% off right now. Almost 1,300 people have rated it 3.96 out of 5 stars, with 72% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And all that Complete Edition is, it's the PSVR1 game revamped with 3 DLC that was released for it.
Let's go.
That said, I did just play this expecting to play it for maybe half an hour, thinking this is a PSVR1 game, it's going to be revamped, it's going to be okay, I'll get bored with it within half an hour. And no man, right when loading the game, I was taken back knowing this is a PSVR1 game, but they did just upgrade the whole thing, and it does look like a hybrid of PSVR1 and PSVR2 graphics. Like, it's got that clarity with this dynamic lighting and all these particle effects, and it looks really good. I mean, like, really good. If you didn't know, this game actually does have a free upgrade, so if you did buy this back in the day, man, you are going to want to pop this in and play this again for sure. Unlike the PSVR1, this does include the PSVR2 Sense haptics. You do feel that difference. Even when I'm rolling over an icon to selecting an object, I do feel that special haptic sensation. The adaptive triggers immediately noticeable, even with the guns to using a light gun on an arcade display cabinet there. The headset haptics, were immediately evident when I got hit in the head. The touch sensitivity was there right when I loaded the game. I could see all my fingers curling. The only one that didn't was the actual trigger finger. That's it. But I mean, come on. That snow slush actually looks really good. It has depth, has transparency, and it has that three-dimensional effect to it. Like, it looks like frozen water that's just about to become a puddle of water. And as I'm sitting there getting a feel for the lobby, I'm hearing the music and I'm like, wow, this reminds me of Stranger Things. And then it dawns on me that this tech all around me is from the 80s. What a wicked aesthetic to everything. And then the soundtrack. So it is like the apocalypse happened in the late 80s or early 90s. And all that tech is still remaining there as you're exploring everything. Again, what I didn't expect is they throw you into the game and then I'm walking around and I realized, oh, wait a sec, I'm in a giant lobby of people. They're walking around with me in this like giant arcade. I totally dig how they incorporated the lobby within the game instead of me feeling like I'm jumping into a multiplayer mode. You know, the game just has me in the lobby, but it doesn't feel like a lobby, if that makes sense. Again, what I didn't expect is, aside from the fun factor of playing the game, I got to play with 3 AI friends. I didn't want to jump in with anybody because I didn't want to screw with their game. Got a feel for everything, and the run itself, just what they call a harvest run. You're going out and you're trying to defeat as many zombies as possible, get as many points by defeating them. You see these little glowing orbs, roll over, just simply walk over it, collect it. After you've done a section of the game, you get to a safe house where you can recharge, use some of that currency you earn to buy boosters or health or whatever, but you're trying to keep as much of that as possible, so when you're done like 3 sections of that run, you return home and then you can upgrade your weapons to either new guns or new add-ons to the guns. And that whole section in that lobby is awesome, where you go in and you adjust your gun. Again, the whole theme, the whole aesthetic really did take me back. I wasn't expecting it to be so well done. But that free upgrade is only available to anyone that purchased this game before the launch of the PSVR2. So if you do have the disc version on PS4, you can contact Vertigo directly, show them a proof of purchase, and they will honor it and give you that free digital upgrade. But yeah, unfortunately, anyone that did buy this after the launch of the PSVR2, they will not honor it. It's only for those that did own this before the PSVR2 launch, just as a heads up. Immerse yourself in poetic storytelling as you explore new mind-bending VR mechanics in A Fisherman's Tale 2, and it's 60% off. Over 270 people rated it 4.09 out of 5 stars, with 77% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. And what makes this one unique is that you solve puzzles using your own body, detaching and controlling your limbs, and finding new attachments to progress throughout the game. And from everywhere I'm reading, the first one did win all these awards. The second one was good, but it wasn't as good as the first one. Feel the lifelike simulation of skiing that feels natural and real in Snow Scout, and it's 35% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 40% off total. Over 120 people have rated it 4.41 out of 5 stars, with 87% of the audience giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. In this exploration adventure on skis, you start on a 1-week stint as a volunteer for the Snow Scouts. Your task is to prepare a small ski resort in the German-speaking Alps for reopening. During your 7-day stint, you're guided by the radio in this remote and majestic mountain wilderness. The lifelike simulation of skiing makes movement through vast landscapes feel natural and real, even in limited VR play spaces. I will be checking out the room scale VR and seeing how that actually plays out. I'm very curious. Cross-country skiing as well as descent runs are featured as competitive events with online leaderboards. Awesome. Communicate with your friendly superior through an innovative communication system. The game offers a full story mode with over 3 hours of recorded narration, 20 ski races, and lots of side tasks to complete. Wow, that sounds awesome. I've never skied before, so I don't have any attachment to skiing, but I am definitely curious in checking this out. Bridge Constructor Studio is a must-have for fans of engineering puzzles and creative sandbox games, and it's currently 20% off. Only 19 people have rated it so far, 4.37 out of 5 stars, with 79% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. This is a classic bridge building game where you can let your creativity run free with an intuitive building system, easy controls, no budget constraints, and optional challenges. As a bridge architect, you will design your constructions in animated 3D mini dioramas and start the simulation to watch as your creations are put to the ultimate stability test. This game features 70 bridge building puzzles across 5 beautiful biomes with limitless creativity. And with 7 unique vehicles, each one offers different challenges with unique physics. For an extra challenge, however, you can earn a special reward by keeping costs within a set budget while ensuring your bridge holds up under pressure. This actually sounds pretty cool. Anyone out there, if you owned it, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know if we should grab this at that sale price. You can now become a pro goaltender and aim for the best clean sheet in history by shutting out real-life footballers in CleanSheet Football, and it's 15% off. Over 260 people rated it 3.9 out of 5 stars, with 73% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 18% did give this 1 star. Now that said, they do offer additional exercises along with gloves and some other stuff as separate DLC, as well as an Ultimate Edition, but they're not on sale right now. Quite simply, become a pro goalkeeper using the best VR soccer game on PSVR2. Aim for the best clean sheet in history by shutting out real-life footballers in this thrilling VR sports app. You can improve your soccer skills in these ways. Play quickfire mode, where you block thousands of high-speed shots. See how you stack up in the global leaderboards, set your own weekly fitness goals, and track how many calories you've burned while aiming for the top score. Awesome. In set play mode, you can challenge yourself against shots recreated from real-life goals. You can also enhance your skills by unlocking additional packs for practicing headers, volleys, free kicks, corners, or even nail-biting penalty saves. From the developers that brought you CleanSheet Football, get ready to put your agility to the ultimate test in DodgeCraft, and it's currently 15% off. Only 34 people have rated it 4.21 out of 5 stars, with 77% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 12% did give this 1 star. Blending high-octane fun and full-body workout, DodgeCraft is perfect for fans of dodgeball, rugby, or football. And right here you're seeing Cusman's gameplay footage of the game mode called Dodge 'em, where you're facing an oncoming asteroid belt and seeing how long you can dodge to survive. I'm also seeing Cusman hitting clusters of rocks while grabbing some balls and throwing them in a side basket there, while weaving away at the same time. The other game mode is called Run the Gauntlet, where you simply defend your zone from relentless robots trying to breach your defenses by pushing, shoving, and punching these pesky foes off the ledge to show them who's boss. Are you ready to rise to the challenge? If you're still unsure, be sure to check out more of Cusman's gameplay footage for a better feel of what to expect. I've left a link in the description, that way you guys can check it out for yourself. If you're craving more of that crazy kayak experience, then you need to also check out Whitewater VR Extreme Kayaking Adventure, and it's 25% off. 136 people rated it 3.63 out of 5 stars, with 65% of the audience giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 18% did give this 1 star. With stunning graphics, realistic physics, and heart-pumping action, you'll race against the clock as you navigate through wild waters filled with obstacles and surprises. Experience the rush of whitewater kayaking and breathtaking VR as you navigate through stunning scenery and dodge obstacles along the way while trying to become the best among your friends with the online leaderboards. This is all about racing against the clock and conquering the unique challenges within each environment. Interesting. Anyone in the comment section that owns this, played it, loved it, hate it, whatever, please let us know whether or not we should get this game at that sale price.
Welcome to the darkness world. Don't be afraid, my friend.
Shoot at everything that moves in Darkness ROLLERCOASTER PSVR2 Remastered Edition, and it's 30% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 20% more, making it 50% off total. Just under 100 people rated it 3.71 out of 5 stars, with 65% giving it 4 or 5 out of 5, but 25% did give this 1 or 2 stars. So I never played the original on PSVR 1, but this is completely redesigned for the PSVR 2 with improved enemy graphics and behavior, more action, more fun, and more speed. Try to beat the global high scores by activating your different powers, such as slowing down time, activating your special vision, or using your shields. But be careful of the traps and obstacles that you'll have to avoid at all times in your cart. What really threw me off is seeing a build your own coaster feature here, where it looks like you can create your own map essentially. That looks awesome. Anyone in the comments section, if you own this since the PSVR 1 days and have played the PSVR 2 version, is this worth buying again? Soar through the skies like never before and restore balance to the universe with Sky Climb, and it's 50% off. Almost 120 people rated it 4.33 out of 5 stars, with 80% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5. The first-person adventure brings classic platforming to VR, featuring an intuitive arm-based locomotion mechanism that allows you to fling yourself from one cube to another in low gravity. From what I'm seeing here in the trailer, you can create your own levels, which is really cool. I'm not too sure whether or not you can actually post them online for others to compete on. There is a single-player campaign spanning 7 unique worlds, which includes a total of 65 levels, complete with 7 boss encounters and power-ups to help you along the way. As well, there is a multiplayer championship mode supporting up to 6 players in races and hoop collecting. You can also personalize your climber with a ton of customization options to help stand out from the crowd. Encircled is an immersive strategy and hilarious atmosphere VR exclusive tower defense game, and it's currently 25% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 15% more, making it 40% off total. Only 23 people have rated it 3.91 out of 5 stars, with 74% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 13% did give this 1 star. Designed from the ground up to bring the best of tower defense and VR together, Encircled combines strategic depth with endless replayability and a whimsical sense of humor. Freely place your towers anywhere on the map to create the ultimate defense, considering the elemental type, advantages, and disadvantages to outsmart your foes. When the towers can't hold the line, take matters into your own hands. Literally. Channel powerful beams from your hands to decimate enemies and turn the tide of battle. It also includes 9 handcrafted maps that are deeply varied, with more planned in future updates. 5 game modes for each map, including easy, standard, hard, endless, and spirit master. And of course you can play standing or seated with snap or smooth turning, but it does say that it has native 90Hz refresh rate. Right on. Other than that, I don't really know anything else about it. I do not typically play tower defense based games. Anybody in the comments section, if you do own Encircled, if you can speak to it and let us know whether or not we should get this at the sale price, that would be awesome. Feel the finesse of your swing, jab, and hooks in Beat the Beats VR, and it's 33% off. Over 630 people rated it 3.46 out of 5 stars, with 56% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 27% did give this 1 star. Use actual boxing moves like crosses, rolls, and uppercuts to blast your way through a series of electrifying musical levels and climb the leaderboards. Unlock new genres, complete daily challenges, and build your skill in rhythm boxing. For the serious competitor, there's also an extra challenging B-side for each track that'll make you sweat to master. So it does tout to have a lot of replayability, but if you're unsure, you can check out the Beat the Beats VR demo on the PlayStation Store right now. Embark on a perilous journey across the plague-ridden realm of Meloria in the Wizards Dark Times Brotherhood, and it's 60% off. Almost 200 people have rated it 3.44 out of 5 stars, with 55% giving this 4 or 5 out of 5, but 22% did give this 1 star. In this game, you're going to forget about button combinations as you discover and master 11 individually designed spells of various uses and effects. Command the arcane powers with nothing but hand gestures, as a true wizard does. This game features 3-player co-op where you forge a brotherhood with up to 2 fellow wizards and use your class-specific skills, Fire, Frost, and Storm, to battle new types of enemies and variants, plus explore the levels with new challenges. This is a remastered single-player adventure where a mysterious, dark plague has fallen on the realm of Meloria, twisting the inhabitants into beings of hatred and madness. And the last time this game was on sale, Corey mentions here that the game is fun, but the gesturing for spells is a little janky. The graphics aren't very good, and the game shuts down upon the first startup. So there's definitely something off here. Again, anyone in the comment section, if you owned it, loved or hate it, please speak to this in the comments. Let us know whether or not we should grab this at that awesome sale price. Awesome Asteroids pays homage to the arcade classics, and it's 60% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 15% more, making it 75% off total. Over 140 people rated it 3.16 out of 5 stars, with a completely mixed bag of reviews here. Quite simply, you'll blast through waves of asteroids using lasers, rockets, and Gatling guns while trying to keep bases and other structures from taking damage. Grab shield power-ups to charge your shields, which will protect you from asteroids and mines. You'll need to take out enemy ships before they can destroy your bases while avoiding their defenses. So that is super simple. Whether or not it's fun using the HOTAS, I do believe this game was touting to have the eye tracking, so you just look and it automatically locks on to fire. But yeah, again, I'm not too sure whether or not it's fun to play. Again, anyone in the comment section that wants to speak to it, please do. Enjoy a vivid, interactive fiction about an artist finishing her final piece of her gallery submission in Behind the Frame, the Finest Scenery VR, and it's 20% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 25% off total. Only 40 people have rated it 2.5 out of 5, with most giving it 3, 2, or 1 out of 5 stars. That said, I don't think this is a game. The actual PlayStation Store description goes on to say that now available in VR, you'll be able to paint brushstrokes and fully realize 3D space. A relaxing, eloquent experience that can be played at any pace. Become immersed in a panoramic world filled with resplendent colors, beautiful hand-animated visuals, and a smooth, easy listening soundtrack. As a passionate artist, seek the missing colors that will bring your paintings to life, all while remembering to take the occasional coffee and breakfast breaks that keep you going. There's more than meets the eye, for every painting has a story to tell. Sounds like transfer. Transformers. Dive into and explore panoramic VR worlds. Experience an evocative story through the eyes of a passionate artist. There's really not much else to say other than the PlayStation Store description and what you're seeing on the trailer here. Anyone in the comment section, if you own the game, app, experience, whatever you call this, please let us know what your thoughts are on whether or not we should get this on sale. I have no idea. Math World VR combines fun games with simple math to exercise the brain, and it's 40% off right now. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 45% off total. Only 37 people have rated it 2.65 out of 5 stars, with 56% giving this 1 or 2 stars, but 24% did give this 5 stars. Quite simply, the game touts that you're going to be learning some arithmetic while using your dexterity, your actual skill. Whether or not that's actually there, I'm not too sure. You know, I'm seeing some activities here like basketball. That could be a lot of fun, especially solving some math problems, but I'm not too sure. Everything from axe throwing, bow and arrow, punch the plates, number slicer, plate breaker, target marksman, carnival darts, frisbee toss, mini golf, multiples paintball, slingshot. All of these look like they could be fun mini games. Again, whether or not the physics are there, anybody in the comments section, if you own the game, please let me know. I'm genuinely curious. The same developers of Math World have you step into Reading World VR, where learning to read is all about having fun. And it's 40% off as well. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 45% off total. Only 13 people have rated it 2.46 out of 5 stars, with over half the audience giving this 1 or 2 stars, but just under a quarter of them did give this 5 stars. And unlike the Math World VR, this says that you'll learn sentence structures, spelling, syllables, and more in a fun new way. With 12 engaging mini-games that are designed around sentences, comprehension, spelling, nouns, verbs, and more, you'll have a fun and immersive way to help sharpen your reading skills. Everything from sentence smash, rhyming slicer, word scramble, timeline ring toss, spelling puncher, slingshot finish the sentence, fishing for syllables, archery word bundle, word race, lily pad leap, fragment bucket toss, and syllable puncher. All of these are a bunch of mini games. Again, I personally have never played the Math World VR or the Reading World VR. They're not really grabbing me as to what I'm seeing here. The basketball in the Math World VR seems kind of cool, but everything else seems okay. If I had kids or whatever and I wanted them to learn this stuff, this might be the way to go. Anyone in the comment section that does have children and do play these games with them, is it actually fun for them to play and learn? Solve a mystery of the famous detective in this VR escape room called The Murder of Sherlock Holmes, and it's 72% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 3% more, making it 75% off total. Only 47 people have rated it 1.81 out of 5 stars, with 70% giving this 1 star, but 13% did give this 5 stars. And normally this is the point where I say, whoa, what happened here? Because the game touts to be able to interact with everything in the environment, which I absolutely love about VR. But that score has been obviously confusing me for so long here. That said, I do have to give Cusman some more credit here, because he did actually let us know in the comment section last time it was on sale that this is one of the worst games that they spent time on the PSVR2. And then Cusman goes on to say they don't know whether or not the interactivity is better on other platforms, but what they played on PSVR2 was definitely broken and not fun to try and make work. Enough said, I totally understand, and I super appreciate you giving us the heads up. If you're like me, staying up at night and watching the creepy TikTok or YouTube compilation videos, then you may already be familiar with the SCP series of videos that deal with securing, containing, and protecting us from dangerous creatures that cannot be eliminated. This game is based off one in particular, and this is called SCP-087, the Stairwell Horror VR, and it's currently 50% off. But if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you save 5% more, making it 55% off total. Only 5 people have rated this so far, and 4 of them gave it 1 star, and the other person gave it 4 stars. SCP-087 refers to an anomalous structure that appears to resemble a stairwell. Attempts to reach the end of the stairwell have been unsuccessful, with subjects reporting an oppressive atmosphere upon entering the structure. Auditory hallucinations, specifically the sound of distant and distressed voices, are frequently reported by those who explore. Light sources do not function effectively beyond a few meters within the structure, as the surrounding darkness appears to absorb any illumination. The footage you're seeing here is from the official Switch trailer, so it doesn't properly represent the VR version, but anyone out there, if you own this, played it, loved it, or hate it, please let us know if we should grab this at that half-off price.
Oh, sideways! Hello! Oh, look at this! How many did I take out? I feel like I got 3 or 4 of them.
And that is all of the games and DLC going on during this Ready Set Play sale until Wednesday, September 10th. Don't forget, if you guys like this video or any of the sales videos that I produce, please click that like button. And if you love what I'm doing with the channel, please subscribe to it. And for all of you that have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I super appreciate it. Until the next one.
Oh, yes, I think I gotcha.
PlayStation